Boeing is not the only company to have problems due to the fatal 737 MAX aircraft crashes. I'm going to show you another one today. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Irish airline Ryanair has definitely been affected by the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft problems. I'm going to show you a nice setup on that chart shortly. Remember, you can speed up this video by clicking the gear icon in the lower right of the video and selecting a new speed. Let's start by looking at some of our open trades. Kraft Heinz broke out of this range with a vengeance. Now it's just kind of languishing. It's making this continuation triangle right here. And as you know, a continuation triangle can break in either direction. So I'm not really giving this any more space. If this doesn't close above my entry today, I'll be shutting this down and taking a look at the triangle that's forming on it. This is Cavco. I had a feeling we were just seeing a head fake here, and I mentioned Friday that I took this at half size because it didn't close above this candle right here, this close. So now today's candle is closing back inside the triangle. At least appears that it's going to. So I'll probably be shutting this down for a small loss, and I'm going to move this ascending triangle resistance line up to 163.75. 162.26 is where the old line was. I'm going to move that up to here, and then we'll see how this operates after that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll watch this. If this closes above the old triangle, the 162 line, I will stick with this. Otherwise, I'm going to close it down and wait for it to break above this 163.75. Again, we want to see a daily close above this 163.75. We need to see at least average volume. Okay, let's talk about Ryanair and the great setup. So just for some background, Ryanair is a low-cost airline founded in 1984 in Dublin, Ireland. In 2016, it was the largest European budget airline by passengers flown and carried more international passengers than any other airline. In 2014, they finalized a deal with Boeing to order 200 of the 737 MAX 200 aircraft. Of that, they were 135 firm and 65 purchase rights, I believe. The 200 model of the 737 MAX aircraft is a special 200-passenger version of the MAX, especially designed for low-cost airlines. Ryanair was Boeing's launch customer for this model. If you look carefully at this image, you'll see that Ryanair has requested a new name for this model, namely the 737-8200, in an attempt to get away from the 737 MAX name. In any case, Barron's reports that Ryanair has raised doubts as to whether the 737 MAX will ever fly again. So they are completely intertwined with Boeing in this 737 MAX disaster because they need airplanes and they've been on order for years and they're not going to get them. Simple Flying reports that Ryanair's CEO Michael O'Leary said in May that he still has confidence in the MAX 737, even though he's postponed his orders. And, of course, if he ever expects to have this aircraft in his inventory, he's wise to continue praising it. Otherwise, he'll just have a PR nightmare on his hands. So, from a purely fundamental point of view, I'm not sure that I would want to buy Ryanair stock at all. But, as you know, I'm not a fundamental trader. I just use these newsy things like this to find stocks to trade. But I also believe that what traders know about the stock is already built into the chart. So let's take a look at the chart. By the way, Ryanair is part of Ryanair Holdings and is traded on NASDAQ as RYAAY. So Ryanair's chart showing a really nice descending triangle here. As you probably know, a descending triangle consists of a horizontal support level, in this case around 61.82-ish, with lower highs that put pressure on the support level. Now, I will only sell a descending triangle. I will not buy a break above it. No break above it. I will only sell a break below it. So this setup is straightforward. We will sell if we get a daily close below the 6182 level. We want to see at least average volume on the breaking candle. Average would be right here at this blue line. So whatever candle breaks through here, the volume bar needs to be above the average here to trade full size. If you've got at least 75% of the average volume, you can open a half size position to reduce risk. Calculating a 75% volume is fairly straightforward. Take this number right here, divide it by the average volume right here, and your result should be at least 0.75. If you don't get at least that much, don't enter the trade. The stop loss will be 1.5 times the ATR on the breaking candle. So when you see the breaking candle, you find your ATR right here, you multiply it by 1.5, and then put your stop above the entry by that amount. First target will be 1 ATR, so you'll take that same number and move your target below the entry by that amount. If after entering the trade we get a candle that closes back inside the triangle, we will take the loss right then. So if this breaks down here and we get an entry and it fiddles around and then comes back up in here and closes back in here, we will close it. We'll take a loss. We won't wait for it to hit our stop loss because we want to keep our losses as small as possible. Remember what I've said in the past about shutting the trades down early if they aren't working as intended. Our intention is that a breakout from these patterns should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we will close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder, so it'll be a free trade after that. We will then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Now, obviously, you're all adults and I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm telling you is how I handle these trades and what I do in these situations. If you want more details about that, look below this video and you'll find a link to my trade management video, and that will explain how I do these things. And that's our Ryanair trade for the day. So let's have a look at today's trading maxim. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, or rule of conduct, or sometimes it's just a proverbial saying. My maxims come from various sources, including reading, the internet, or suggestions from friends, coaches, teachers, or other acquaintances. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline. I suggest you start your own list of maxims to help in your trading. Things that you can say to yourself while you're trading to make sure you always do the right thing. Please feel free to borrow from my list. And today we're going to look at a brand new maxim. Tim's trading maxim number 52. You've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. This is from Louise Hay. You know, we say terribly negative things about ourselves sometimes, and often it's under the guise of being humble. I've been guilty of that. Sometimes it's to prompt other people to praise us. In any case, we need to stop it. Just stop it. Negative thought patterns are not beneficial. They reinforce all the wrong things in our lives. I'm not saying you shouldn't be humble, but humility is not about trying to play yourself down, and it's more about playing those around you up. If someone compliments you, say thank you. Then you can deflect the praise to other people who deserve it. But denying a compliment makes you and the person delivering it look bad. Make an effort to approve of yourself and see what happens. Louise Hay is a motivational author who's written several New Thought self-help books. I'll include her Wikipedia link below this video. I encourage you to look her up. Remember our trade plan here. We're looking for a daily close below the triangle to sell Ryanair. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 times the ATR. And remember to look below for the trade management video link to get more details. And if you don't have time or the desire to analyze charts, this is a pretty nice setup right here. Trading Strategy Guides has the Strike Trader Elite Trade Signal service. You'll get Forex trade signals on a dozen or so pairs on several different time frames, all based on the Strike Trader Elite system. Look below the video for a link to the free signals on the Telegraph application. I'll also post a link to my video that explains the Strike Trader Elite system. And be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guides YouTube channel every week on Monday and Friday for my analysis videos, and Wednesday morning for my training webinar. And check out the blog for great trading strategies. I'll put the link below. Also, follow me on Twitter. If things happen between my videos, I'll post them there. I'll put my Twitter link below as well. Tell all your friends about us and help us make this the best trading channel on the internet. And always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.